Hey guys, Shadow Reviewer here. Today, I'm looking at Family Guy Season 3, Episodes 19 to 22. So let's get into it. Today I'm looking at Family Guy Season 3, Episode 19, Stuck Together, Torn Apart. So yeah, it's a, okay episode. So, Peter seems to be getting pretty jealous of Lois being hanging around with other men, even though she's pretty loyal to him. But, being Peter, he just goes over the top. So, Lois decides they should see a marriage counselor, and the counselor suggests they go see other people to see if their marriage gets stronger. And while Quagmire instantly wants to jump Lois, if you know what I mean, Peter surprisingly goes out on a date with actress Jennifer Love Hewitt. And yes, I looked this up. This is actually Jennifer Love Hewitt voicing the character, playing as her fictional version of herself. And yeah, her guest star appearance is pretty entertaining. I like, at first, she's grossed out by Peter at the restaurant, but that seems to turn her on a little bit more. And that pretty much sparks Lois realizing that Peter may have a point of being jealous, and she gives JLH the punch. So kind of interesting. So the episode ain't too bad with that idea. And I love how it ends with both Peter and Lois keep punching waiters every time one approaches them. And the subplot is okay. There is a good cutaway joke with Stewie's football head origin. Stewie, get down before you hurt yourself. Shut up, you're not my mother! My god, you okay? Fine, why'd you ask? Honestly, yeah, I liked he didn't feel anything. I always thought he was born that way, but it turns out he wasn't. So yeah, Stewie and Brian accidentally get stuck together when Stewie tries to eat some glue. And that's pretty much the whole episode. And I would like to theorize the fact that Stewie never once took off his clothes as the glue stuck on for 3 weeks. How did he shower? How did he get his baths? Now, I get, Stewie, yeah, I'm not gonna go there. But yeah, makes me wonder how Stewie was able to get out of his clothes every day. And I will give them some credit. They tried to help out somebody before they become unstuck. Only to turn a sad twist, it was a doll the whole time. So yeah, the subplot was okay. So overall, the episode itself was okay. The main plot was pretty interesting. The subplot was, yeah, it was just there. Today I'm looking at Family Guy Season 3, Episode 20, Road to Europe. And yeah, we're back to the Road 2 episodes. And while Season 2's Road to Rhode Island is what I consider the best episode of Season 2, Road to Europe, while not good as Road to Rhode Island, it's still good. So Stewie has been obsessed with this kids show called Jolly Farm, and he wants to be a part of it. So he runs the raid to the United Kingdom. And to Brian's credit, being the good friend he is, he instantly goes after him. And in a realistic twist, Stewie finds out that his idol isn't all it's cracked up to be. And honestly, yeah, that is true in real life too. You think your idol is nice in real life? Well, sometimes they're either absolute douches or down-to-earth, gentle people. Or sometimes somewhere in the middle. And yeah, Stewie realizing this comes crushing down on him, and you gotta feel bad for the little kid. And I like Brian's support all throughout the episode. And yeah, there's a nice little song sequence when they accidentally get stuck in Egypt, get on the wrong plane to Egypt. So yeah, I thought it was a pretty good main plot for a Road 2 episode. And I do like the subplot as well. So, Peter is a big fan of Kiss. Who ain't? And Lois, surprisingly, is not. But being the best person she is, she supports Peter. And yeah, everyone pretty much shames Lois for not knowing who Kiss is, but she's just being loyal to her husband and liking when he's liking. And in a rather funny twist, it turns out she dated one of the Kiss band members. Honestly, it's pretty funny that she doesn't know the band, but she used to date one of the guys that did it. And anyone asks, I don't think this is the real Kiss band. This is a fictional version, so don't at me or whatever in the comments. But still, pretty funny idea with a pretty funny twist in there. So yeah, Road 2 is a pretty good episode with a pretty fun subplot in there with Peter. So yeah, good episode all around. Brian is very supportive towards Stewie, and I love that Lois is pretty supportive to Peter. With a pretty funny twist in there. God, that still cracks me up. Today, I'll be looking at Family Guy, Season 3, Episode 21, Family Guy, Viewer Mail Number 1. So yeah, it's an anthology episode, and if you watched my Avatar video, I put Tales of Bonds and Say, not just my favorite episode of Season 2, but a pretty fun anthology episode that ties the season finale together. Solid. And this one is also pretty good. Mostly. So you've got the first anthology where Peter has a wish-granting genie. And Peter, he does stupid stuff. But in an unfortunate twist, Peter uses his last wish to have no bones, and he pretty much becomes a blob the rest of the short. And he does what he tries to do, get on with his life. But he feels like he became a burden to his family, so he left. So he became a human stunt mat, which is sad. But it ends on a nice note with Peter gains his bones back, but half of it belonged to his family. It ends on a nice note, although makes me wonder how they're going to adjust to that. The second anthology, the second short, is my favorite of the three. The Super Griffins. And honestly, I've got questions. I've got two things that I wish happened. One, I wish this was canon. The Griffins gain superpowers? That's a freaking cool idea. And yes, the Thundermans took this idea after this episode came out, but I don't care. I think this is a really cool idea. Lois' super strength, Peter's shapeshifting, Brian's super speed, Stewie's telekinesis, Chris's pyrokinesis, and Meg able to grow her nails super fast. Oh man, even an anthology episode that didn't make dirty. And my second, I wish this was a spin-off series. The Griffins having superpowers and how to adjust to life. I don't know, but I wish this happened. This is a freaking cool idea. And I truly loved the ending where Adam West, in a pretty funny twist, tries to do the same thing but ends up getting sick. So the Griffins decide to stop abusing their powers and try and help Adam West. It's a nice ending. And honestly, I freaking love this short. Now we get on to the third and final one, where pretty much the adult Family Guy characters are pretty much miniature. And yeah, I thought the episode was fun. I thought the short was fine. I mean, it's pretty much very masculine. But it ends on a funny note with Lois going on with Mort instead of Peter or Quagmire. That's legit funny. But the rest of it is just meh. So yeah, a pretty good anthology episode. The first one was good, the second one was awesome, and the third one was okay. So yeah, solid episode all around. Today I'm looking at Family Guy Season 3, Episode 22, When You Wish Upon a Weinstein. And this is the final episode of Season 3, and it's not... I don't know, this episode really, it's a mixed bag for me. And yes, this would make this the first official banned Family Guy episode that I've reviewed. In pretty much the 18 months that I've been on this channel. The first official banned episode. And this one is... I can see why it was banned. So Peter thinks that by converting Chris into a Jew, he would get better at his grades. Okay, yeah, that's not how it works. You don't instantly become smart if you convert to Judaism. I'm Jewish myself, and that's not how it works. And then again, I'm also autistic, but who am I to say? And yeah, the controversial song, which is pretty much the Disney's Pinocchio song, When You Wish Upon a Star. Yeah, I don't like what they're doing with it. And yeah, as a Jew myself, some of the jokes here are very uncomfortable. And while some of it is okay, I don't like what they're doing with the idea. And given what happens later with Lois, this episode still rubs me the wrong way. I don't know, just... I get what Peter was doing. He wants to help his son improve in life, but it doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for me. It just... I don't know. I can see why it was banned, the controversial song, the premise for the episode, and also it doesn't go anywhere afterwards. It just stops. So yeah, a pretty lousy episode with a pretty silly premise that just doesn't work for me. Now, I'm not saying all Jews are like this. Again, I am Jewish myself, but the way it represents Jewish people in this episode just feels off to me. But again, that's just off my own opinion. So yeah, a pretty lousy episode to end the season with. But that's pretty much all I've got. A pretty disappointing third season finale. And that's the end of the video, folks. Give me a thumbs up, like and comment, subscribe, and I hope to get more videos out like this. Wednesday, I'll be ranking the Family Guy Season 3 episodes from worst to best. Keep an eye out for that video. Until then, I'm the Shadow Reviewer, signing off.